Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Magdugo Elementary School in Toledo City Division under West District Cluster 1. Magdugo Elementary School is located at Don Juan Climaco Sr., Toledo City. It is under the supervision of our school's Division Superintendent, Dr. Orlando G. Cadano, Public Schools District Supervisor of West District Cluster 1, Mr. Romero J. Cantunao, and Mrs. Jessica S. Narvasa, our school principal. The occurrence of COVID-19 has greatly stricken the educational system of the Philippines. The effects of the public health crisis are clearly felt, as shown in the doubts, confusion, and fears of many, especially parents for the incoming school year. And despite the present situation, education must continue, as our country's future depends on how the learners are educated now. Magdugo Elementary School, which belongs to Cluster 1, West District of the Division of Toledo City, embraces the DepEd's commitment to ensure educational continuity amidst the present challenges in order to give hope and stability, contribute to the normalization of activities in the country, facilitate the development of learners, and bring normalcy to their lives while giving utmost importance to the health and safety of our learners and school personnel by strictly following its protocols. In this preference, the developed school's Learning Continuity Plan, which is aligned with the SDO Toledo City's LCP, has been disseminated to the school communities as response and commitment in protecting the health, safety, and well-being of learners, teachers, and non-teaching in the preparation for the opening of classes comes August 24, 2020, and relative planned activities to be undertaken in the duration school year. This class simulation shall serve as the school's guiding activities to be observed and implemented in order to attain a smooth and orderly conduct of classes in the new normal setting. This is Mrs. Gina Sibacalso, a grade 3 teacher of Magdugo Elementary School of Don Juan Climaco Sr., Toledo City. I humbly present to you our simulation of classes for modular distance learning of grade 3 St. Joseph learners with 29 enrollees, 13 male and 16 female for this school year 2020-2021. We started this activity with the retrieval and consolidation of LESF, Learners Enrollment Survey Form, via online Google Enrollment Form link, messaging through the created group FB Messenger by grade levels, text messaging, and we also provided hard copies of school enrollment form which can be placed or dropped after filling in it at drop boxes strategically placed, one in our school and two in the community barangay hall. After that process and based on the result, we teachers were able to organize the class list of the 4 grade 3 classes for school year 2020-2021 through a webinar. Having the same residency of the teachers and learners is one of the bases we considered for the class organization, meaning for those learners who live near to the teacher will be included in the section of the concerned teacher. We also have Kaalam Ko Itudlo Ko program of Magdugo Elementary School. This program is initiated through the help of Barangay Councilor Committee in Education, Marita Baclaan, with the assistance of ISKI Chairman Clifford Basalo and his councilors and some of the BOD members. In this program, we scouted 2 individuals in every sitio as para-teachers to extend help for parents who don't have enough time to assist their child or children. This volunteer para-teacher extended their help to the learners who need them in going through their modules. The Kaalam Ko Itudlo Ko program is also helpful in the case of Ando Kian, whose mother is just giving birth last month and cannot assist her child in going through the modules. Kian is a neighbor of Karen Julan, one of the ISKI councilors, who is also one of the member of Kaalam Ko Itudlo Ko program of Magdugo Elementary School. She voluntarily extended her expertise to serve as para-teacher for Kian to assist him in going through the modules. After the organization of the 4 classes, the class organizational profile on the learning modalities were also identified to determine the number of learners who prefer that certain modalities. In my class, only one learner chose online distance learning, while 3 learners choose blended modular distance learning and the rest choose modular. Prior to the distribution of MagES learning boxes, all grade 2 teachers did the following preparations. First, production of modules of 8 different subjects compiled in a folder for each subject. Second, activity sheets to be answered by learners. Third, color-coded copies of instructions for parents and learners to follow. Fourth, clear book as portfolio of the learners. Fifth, plastic boxes, books, notebooks, crayons, art materials, alcohol, disinfectant, and other needed materials. In observing health protocols, we made sure that all of these were disinfected before placing them inside the MagES learning boxes. Another program initiated by our school is the Gilaw MagES School Program. This is in support of Brigada Eskwela that aims to gather donation in kind and in cash from kind-hearted and generous individuals, from our alumni and PTA officers. Through this, we were able to procure school supplies for additional learning materials for our learners this school year 2020-2021. Then, we checked and placed the materials in the MagES learning boxes based from the checklist, including the 2 color-coded papers of instructions. The yellow one is a set of instructions for the parents to follow in retrieving and returning the box. On the other hand, the yellow-coded paper contains instructions for the learners on the things they need to follow all throughout the week. When all the boxes were ready, we prepared also our parents by giving them short orientation about simulation, the activities to be prepared and to be done during the simulation, the date of actual simulation, and the procedures they need to follow in retrieving and returning the boxes, observing the health protocols. So I conducted an orientation via messenger with our grade 3 parents following the recommended procedures taken from the online parental support intervention on effective parenting in the midst of COVID-19 webinar as hosted by the division office. There was one parent who wasn't able to attend the said orientation due to slow internet connectivity. Thus, I conducted a face-to-face orientation with her in school following the safety health protocols. So everything was on set, and MagES learning boxes were ready for distribution. At 7:30 in the morning of July 27, 2020, we distributed the MagES learning boxes to parents and guardians. Observing the health protocols, each one wore their face mask, disinfected, and washed their hands on designated areas, thermal scanned before they entered the school gate. They also practiced social distancing, foot sanitizing, and logged their names as they entered my classroom and got the MagES learning boxes for their children. On the other hand, we teachers also wore our face masks and face shields too, observed social distancing, disinfected our hands before and after the distribution of the boxes. We have one learner whose parents are both working, and she lived with her grandparents who are both senior citizens. Nobody could be able to get the seed box from the school, so we asked the assistance of Renante Climaco, our barangay tanod, who is also a member of the Hatod Eskwela program of our school that aims to help or extend support to those who cannot get the box for some important reasons and bring the box with the learning materials to their house. After the distribution of the boxes, when the parents and the guardians returned to their respective homes, they were reminded to strictly observe the same health protocols for the safety of their respective families. Question to be asked: how will Leo continue the previous routine in school he used to have when he was still in grade 2 in the light of pandemic? This is Leo Tristan Derek L. Gika, a grade 3 learner. Leo gets up in the morning, takes a bath, and takes his breakfast. His mom wanted him to practice the same activities he did during his normal class days when he was still in grade 2. The Department of Education provided us the different learning modalities in order to continue the provision of quality education for our learners amidst this pandemic. In our school, Magdugo Elementary School, we adopted the blended modular learning, distance online, offline video audio, and distance modular based on the profiling of the learner's profile. In the case of Leo Tristan Derek L. Gika, distance online is suited for him since he has a laptop. I, as his teacher, was able to conduct classes with him online. For blended modular distance learning, in the case of Shania Faith Bacos, who has a poor signal in her location, used the module provided by her, and when she needed more assistance on the activities that she needed to undergo, she had texted and chatted me for some very important matters related to the lesson. In the case of those pupils who had unstable net connections, offline audio-video is applicable. Just like in the case of Stanley Zane Lopo, their area has poor internet connection, so I had recorded part of my lesson that Stanley Zane had to listen. So I recorded beforehand an audio clip and sent it to him via messenger. Hello Stanley, kumusta? Handam ka na ba sa atong bagong leksyon?
Handam na.
Di pa na ako sugdan, ano na ako'y pangutanan nito. Unsa man ang mga butang na makita sa palibot. Subukan makita sa palibot.
Anong tag-unsara?
Unsa man tag-unsa?
Table, back.
In the case of Eugene Tanguan and Dominic Belge de la Serna, distance modular is applicable for them since their location has insufficient internet connection. All of the lessons were purely taken from the provided modules with appropriate and guided instructions therein. After a week, July 31, Friday at 7:30 in the morning, parents, guardians had returned the boxes containing the modules, answer sheets, worksheets, and other materials following the same procedures and health protocols. We also disinfected the boxes before we retrieved the answer sheets, modules, and other materials. Then replaced another set of sanitized modules, worksheets, and other needed materials for the next week's activity of the learners, since we had prepared all these materials on make days. After which, we checked the answer sheets, recorded the scores to track the pupils' performance, and placed each learner's answer sheets, worksheets in a clear book served as their portfolio. Virtual conference with the principal for feedbacking on people's performance and things need to improve from the new normal activities were also conducted.